Thanks for taking a moment to watch this Boler setup video. This will take you from hitched up to setup in just a couple minutes. So, when you arrive, first thing you want to do is remove the pin from the hitch lock. And that's chained up there, so just put that somewhere safe. You'll want to remove these two safety chains. And then you'll want to remove the electrics plug, which does your brake and your signal lights. Unlatch the lock and you can move your wheel jack down by winding it down till it's off of your hitch. At this point you should be able to move it by hand, but just be cognizant of any slopes you're on. You may want to have your chucks handy. You can use the trolley to move the Boler around the site. It's going to be much easier than just using the wheel jack. Just be safety conscious. You'll notice I put my foot on the jack there. If it gets sudden weight on it, it can pop up, and if you're leaning over it like that, you'll get it in the head. Ask me how I know. It's not that fun. So just be safety conscious, but you can wheel it anywhere. You'll notice the stabilizers here where they're placed on the back bumper. That'll give you a much more comfortable time walking around inside the trailer. These stabilizers have three parts: the base, the pyramid, and the screw on top. But depending on your terrain, you may or may not be able to use all parts of that. So you take the base and you're going to take the honeycombed part of it and insert the pyramid into that and put a screw in there if there's the room, and you can adjust it up and down by going clockwise and anti-clockwise. However, if you don't have much terrain, you may have to get creative. You may have to use a couple of bases. You may have to use a couple of pyramids without the screw part in there. To insert it in the back, you'll want to wind the front of the trailer down as far as it'll go, and then just push those pyramids in. You'll notice this, because of the terrain, I can't use any bolts here. Then you're going to want to wind it back up again, and you'll notice that the gap closes until it's taking the weight there. You can also put a stabilizer here at the front, and I've got enough room to put the bolt on, so I'm just going to turn that until it's kind of snug, and then I'm going to also lower the front jack on there, so the weight is being handled by the jack and the stabilizer. This is the gravel guard. You put this on while you're traveling to protect the front window. It's got some funny snaps to put it on, so here's how you remove it. You're just gonna unsnap these. And it pops off. It can be a little awkward sometimes. It's gonna give you more light. This is where your power goes. If you have a powered site, you just pull that open and put your extension cord in there. And shut it and close the little flap to keep the wet out. And underneath there, that power is going to come into that little white grommet you see at the back there. And you can just plug it into that power bar there. If you have a powered site, you'll notice that everything's labeled here, so you can plug in or unplug things as you need. If you don't need a fridge and it's very hot, you might want to unplug that. Also, if you're running off battery, you can use those individual components as well. This is where the water goes, and I'm going to try my best to hold the phone with one hand and screw it with the other hand. It doesn't work very well. But with the benefit of two hands, you'll have a much easier time of this. And that's pretty much it. You should be ready to have a really fun time. Oh yeah, don't forget to chuck the wheels. Put something under the wheels, especially if you're on a slope. Thank you. Have a great trip.